Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back. Today, I'm gonna talk about things, because apparently you guys like that. At first I was worried that me just talking about whatever would be boring, but apparently it's good, so good. Today we're gonna talk about feeling stupid. This is something that I have been thinking about a lot lately in a lot of different ways, and I think it's something that literally everyone faces. And it was really weird because I was actually kind of nervous to film this. I started and stopped recording about 3 or 4 times. I don't know why. I just felt awkward getting started and I kept putting it off even though I wanted to do it, right? There's still going to be a video out this Monday. This is just an extra thing I really wanted to talk about. And no, it is not Monday at 2 a.m. Although what do you know? Maybe it is, and I'm a dirty liar. It's not 2 in the morning or anything like that. I just really wanted to make this. And then I was making all these excuses. I was like, oh, my acne's coming back, which is just a whole different story. I could make an entire video on my acne story. And it's funny because it's so what, right? I mean, that's why I decided in the end. It's not like I can control it. The worst thing someone could do is say, she has acne. Ew, gross. And it's not like I can help it. It's not like every time I commit a sin, a new zit appears on my face. Or does it? Does it? Although, do you know what would be even worse than that? No, the worst thing someone could do is then write a comment that's being nice, but weirdly passive aggressively trying to give you advice. Oh my gosh, you should totally put tea tree oil on it. Or, if you just slather your face in oatmeal, it'll work. Or you should try Claritin, or you should try this or that. Or if you, because that's the worst, because they're trying to be nice. But anyway, we've talked about acne too much, but maybe that video will come up when I'm really running out of ideas. My acne story, trying to appeal to, I don't know what demographic that appeals to. Anyway, so feeling stupid. A few days ago, I had this unshakably sick feeling in my stomach. It was like a pit in my stomach. Now, usually, when you feel oh, I want to do better, or I'm not good enough, or I feel kind of dumb right now, usually that feeling is completely normal, right? Where maybe you went to a concert or something and you saw someone play an instrument or sing and you're like, wow, they're really good. I wish I was good as them. But then, as soon as you get home, you're just whatever, it doesn't bother you. But then there's the type of feeling where it's like a pit in your stomach and you're like, I feel like a piece of shit. I am terrible at everything. And the thing is that then there's two ways you can respond to that. You can either tell everyone I suck, and then they're like, no, you don't, you're beautiful, and you're like, thanks. I don't know who talks like that. Now it's I don't really want to tell people when I feel like that because I hate the feeling of fishing for compliments or making it sound like that. Because it was a very visceral physical feeling. It's like having a headache. You don't feel nervous about telling someone that you have a headache because you just do. And then they're like, do you want some aspirin? And you're like, sure. And then problem solved for the most part. With this, I didn't want to really say anything to anyone because it's obvious that in a lot of ways I'm doing well, if that makes sense. And I don't want to sound pandering or self-pitying or tell me I'm awesome, because I knew deep down that other people telling me that wouldn't do anything. But at the same time, I didn't know what to do because I really felt like this. I think it was a combination of a lot of things. It was just little things like being in class and feeling like I'm literally the only one who doesn't know what's going on because you have all these people that try to act like they know everything, or interviewing for jobs and getting these if you guys haven't done software interviews before, they can vary so much. It almost makes me want to apply to grad school, except not really, because fuck that. At least it's a defined process where they're like, you will apply by this date and we let you know by this date. Companies are all over the fucking place. I had to do a video interview where it just counts down and then it's go, and it gives you technical questions and it's you have a minute to record, and it was so bad and I turned red. And I know you'd think that me doing YouTube, I'd be used to that, but Oh, those are terrible. And then what else? Oh, I like through these insane code tests. Um, some of them are normal, right? Like it'll be like send us for some game studios, they might be like make this simple game and just send it back to us because they just want to see like how you write code and can you even do like a simple assignment like that. But some of them were getting weirdly specific into like certain hardware and processors, and that's what motivated me to make that PS3 video actually, to prove to myself that I'm not like, I don't know, that I can do things with architecture and I'm not totally stupid. Because, okay, sorry, if this is too rambly, let me know and I'll try to like edit it down for next time. But because um when I had that terrible feeling, so we'll go back to this feeling because this was only a few days ago, a week ago. I had this terrible feeling and I had all these interviews and tests and expectations, and I thought, like, I'm going to like a pretty good like computer science program and I feel like I don't know shit. Like, was I just not paying attention in class? Like, did I somehow skate by? Like, was I doing something wrong where like I wasn't absorbing things? Did I just blow off my classes? I was so confused. I felt like my brain was broken and all the information fell out or something because I'm like, where are these people learning these things? And so then, literally, because I was so obsessed with feeling shitty about myself, I went through every single class I had taken in college, like every single technical class, and I looked through the textbooks and the assignments because I had all my old assignments saved, and I went through every single one of them and I was like, could I do this again from scratch if I had to? Could I do this? Do I remember this? And it was so weird because for the most part, I would say, yeah, like I knew everything that was going on. It wasn't that I just took the class and forgot about the information or took the class and like got friends' help and that's why I passed, which is, this is kind of related to like the whole imposter syndrome thing, right? I did a video on that. I don't even remember what I said in it because it was several months ago. But basically, imposter syndrome is when you feel like you don't deserve your accomplishments, or like, oh, I only passed that class because I had a really good study group and they had all the ideas. Or I don't know, like I only got a promotion or got a job because I'm really good at smooth talking and like charming people or something. And this feeling was different from imposter syndrome because I knew deep down that I'm doing okay, right? Not in an arrogant way. I know I'm doing well and I'm proud of myself. But at the same time, I was just so like sick, like there, I think it's that feeling of like having overwhelming goals, right? Like you want to be the next whoever, you want to be great. And then all of that comes crushing down like, I'm not there yet. I'm not fucking there yet. And you want to be there right now. And I don't mean that in the creepy way where I'm trying to suppress my emotions and it's like, don't let the darkness overcome you. Keep it down. Keep your emotions buried. I am not that type of person, but I think my body thinks I am, and it tries to make it go outward in weird physical tics and stuff. Like probably these pimples, they sprout when I am stressed, right? And I've like thrown up before and after exams. I have that pit in my stomach that I'm talking about. It's a very, very real thing. Headaches. What are some other? Oh, the weird burping thing. As of a few months ago, I don't know anyone who has this. Right before one of my finals, I started uncontrollably like hiccup burping. It was like weird air convulsions and it was really painful and it sucked. So yeah, I tend to internalize my stress. But the only reason why I'm mentioning this and making a whole video about this is because I had not felt that sick feeling, that really sick feeling about like my passions in a really long time. So some of you may know this from other videos where I talked about it, but I originally applied to colleges as a music major. I really wanted to be in piano performance. And it's interesting because I had done piano ever since I was a little kid, but not super seriously. Like I lived about a block away from this really famous music school. Like some people's like crazy music parents like moved to our neighborhood so that they could go to that music school or take with the teachers. There were some rich kids from all over like coast to coast who were flying in for like violin and piano lessons every week to this school. And if you see it, it's a very unassuming building. There's like multiple buildings, but it's mainly for the teachers. And if my house was here, I'd just kind of walk one block, cut across a park, and then there's the building. And so I never took lessons there. I was never that intense about it. It was always just a fun thing that I knew how to do, and I was decent at it, but I don't think I didn't have like great technique or work ethic or anything like that. It was just something that I did once a week, every week for like ever. And then one day I realized I was like, I'm not good at anything in particular. This was probably when I was about 14 or 15. And I was looking around and I thought, some of my friends or classmates, they had soccer, like a sport, or they were amazing at drawing, or they're amazing at this or that. And even though it wasn't true, I think everyone kind of felt like they weren't good at anything except for the people who had like, a million trophies to validate themselves. I think a lot of people felt this way, but I really felt like I'm not good at anything. I'm not known for anything. I'm not praised for anything. And I really wanted that for some reason. I think I mistook my passion for the thing that people praised me the most for. And at the time, I also really liked to draw and write, but people really praised me for piano because that's the type of thing where, if you have relatives over, you play for people want to like stand around you and hear you perform, right? No one wants to read your stories. I'll just be honest. I feel like drawing though also has that immediate gratification. You can just show people your stuff and they're like, wow, you're awesome. Anyway, so yeah, as a teenager, as most teenagers do, I wanted that kind of validation. And I think that was one reason why I really wanted to go into it, which I don't think it was totally a wrong reason. It wasn't like I had malicious intentions, like I want to be famous, I want attention. It was just that when I heard from all my teachers and counselors and whoever, pursue your passion, I was like, that's probably my passion because people say that I'm good at it, right? And I wasn't even that intense compared to all these people, flying in from all over the country, winning international competitions. I was not as good as them, but I saw them and I'm like, I want that so bad because as I listened more and more to the music, it just kind of consumed me, right? And this is all relevant, and this is relevant to game dev stuff. Maybe some of you can relate with your own passions. So I practiced really, really hard for several years, and I'm really proud of where I got to considering where I was at, and I still want to keep doing it and keep doing music, but it started to turn really sour. Every time I'd hear a piece on the radio or on a CD or hear about someone else's success, I would get that sick feeling all the time. Like seriously, I could not even listen to like the classical music radio station because I just felt bad. I'm like, I'm not that. I suck. I hate myself. Like seriously. And I would get that sick feeling. And I was preparing for auditions. I had like a whole hour CD. I had like 2 hours of like repertoire. I don't know how to pronounce it. I had 2 hours of stuff prepared, totally memorized, the hardest stuff I had ever played in my life. I had worked so hard for years for this. And I totally just like, I don't want to call it a breakdown because it's not like anything major happened, but I just didn't do any of my auditions. And then I was in a bit of a pickle because I applied to almost every school as a music major. And so that's why it kind of connects back to now, because this is the first time I've truly had that sick feeling in a while. And I think it's because, I'm going to graduate soon in May. And I mean, I've been in the real world, so I'm not afraid to, do that. I kind of know what to expect, but I also know I have a ton more to learn. And I think you start to feel really inadequate when you feel like you reach the top of a mountain, but then you look up and you realize, oh, that's the real one. I just went up the baby hill. That's the real thing. But the thing is, when you were at the bottom of the baby hill, you couldn't even see the top of the big mountain, right? So now you're at the top and you can see where you really need to go. And that's huge, right? I mean, there's that phrase, like, the more you know, the more you realize how much you don't know. And I think that's so true. And I think that people need the right amount of feeling smart and feeling stupid. I think it's good to recognize your strengths and feel proud of yourself. Actually, I think that's very, very important to feel confident and understand what you're good at. But it's not good to be arrogant and look down on the people below you who you were in their position once before, right? On the other hand, it's not good to feel like a piece of shit, right? Because you're not going to get anything done. At a minimum, if you don't care about emotional mushy gushy stuff, at a minimum, it's just not productive. You don't get anything done. On the other hand, the more you realize how much you don't know, the more you realize how far you have to go, the more you can push yourself to be better. I guess to put it another way, there are things that you don't know, and that's the stupid feeling. You start to feel stupid when you realize how much there is that you don't know. And then you have things that you don't know, which are things that you can't possibly predict or conceive of right now. And the way you get better at things is if you wait, which group was it? I forget. Is if you take the things that you don't know and put them into things that you don't know. Basically, you're taking things from the unknown and you're understanding that they're unknown. I think that's really important. And the second most important thing is to have a good attitude about bringing those to the known, to the surface of what you are confident in. And so that's how I'm trying to view feeling stupid. That sick feeling, that I'm not good enough feeling. When it's really that intense, I think that means I'm about to move on to the next step. And I'm feeling inadequate because I know I'm back to being a beginner. I'm trying to do, industry level things, professional projects, personal projects, and that's on a whole new level, right? And it's not that I've never done it before. It's just that's supposed to be my world now, rather than it being like cool for me to have been a college kid who worked on games. It's now like, no, you're the bottom of the bucket, girlfriend. But that's a good thing because that means I'm on the next step of my journey. And so with me working so hard at piano and then just not showing up for my auditions, that wasn't an issue of my skill, really. It was just completely my attitude. And I had a negative attitude and I let the pit in my stomach win, really. And it's just a stupid, you don't exist. I mean, it does. Don't like put away your emotions in a box. But at the same time, I just needed an attitude shift. So I guess, I don't know your life or your situation, but that's at least what I'm trying to do more of. I'm trying to keep things balanced and more in perspective. I think it can be very tempting to go to one extreme or the other. Like to just be completely hard on yourself is actually way easier than having a realistic view, I think. And I think the other thing, I guess this is one last thing, I think it's natural to compare yourself to others. So I'm not going to say, don't compare yourself to others. You're perfect. I'm not going to say that, but don't worry about others. I think sometimes people can, once again, go to one or the other extreme. Either you're like, oh my God, I wish I was them. I hate myself. Or you try to downplay their achievements and be like, oh, they got into Harvard. Well, they didn't have a social life anyway. Or they only got in because their family's rich. When it comes to others, just don't even worry about it. Even if it's kind of a positive thing where you want to follow in their footsteps or see what they did and emulate it, sometimes I think you even have to go outside of that comfort zone. A lot of the coolest people in games and other fields didn't follow any set of rules. They really went on their own path and did it their way. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do or how to live your life. But I just think attitude and balance are the most important things to success. Not that I'm like some amazing person who's found all this success, but that just seems to be where, the signs are pointing to, right? This is just a hunch I had. Like I said, if I find the secret to life, I'll be sure to vlog about it. Anyway, whoever's watching this, I hope you know that you have a long way to go in whatever you're doing. But you're probably way more awesome than you think you are. So keep having a positive attitude and just keep going. Don't think about it. Don't think about other people. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I really do mean that. It's kind of insane. In about 2 months, I think, it'll be a year of me doing this, and this is more than I ever dreamed of. And so let me know if you enjoy these real talk videos now and again, because I certainly enjoy making them. So once again, thank you guys, and I'll see you hopefully on Monday. Bye!